This time, the Vortec 350 in my Suburban gets a complete top-end overhaul. So a couple of quick things before getting started. I'm going to blast the exhaust manifolds with PB Blaster, and then I am going to drain the radiator and do a flush before I start taking everything apart. Figured it's better to do that now before I change everything out and put the new gaskets in there. And then in the process of letting the radiator flush run through the system, that will also warm everything up. And then between that and the PB Blaster, hopefully the exhaust manifolds will come off relatively easily. Another quick note here, the coolant level is basically where it's supposed to be. I don't seem to be losing any coolant. So between that and then the fact that the vacuum gauge chatters under acceleration leads me to believe that most of the head gasket's okay, but I do have a leak or bad head gasket in between two of the cylinders. I could do a leak down test to determine which two cylinders it is, but it doesn't really matter. I've got a problem in there, so it needs to come apart anyway, and doing the leak down test will just be more time delaying the inevitable. So I'm gonna get started. And of course, so here's some of the coolant that came out of there. Doesn't look too bad. Doesn't look great either. So I've got some rust particles in there. And then there was also a bottle of K-Seal that I threw in there a couple of months ago when I was on a trip, and I started to suspect that the head gasket was going bad. Alright, just let that get good and warmed up here. Pump the coolant flush all the way through the entire system. Also, don't forget to turn the heat all the way up there as well so that you get coolant all through the heater core and everything there. Really, the reason I was doing this is the front heater core was not heating up very well. Hopefully this will take care of that. Alright, well, it's definitely blowing more warm air out of the vents here than it was for sure. And also there's definitely more moisture coming out of the exhaust. So this cleaner might have pushed through some of the head gasket into one of the coolant passages as well. Still running okay. No other alarming signs or anything, but that's probably about good time to start pulling it apart. Okay, I just got all of the exhaust manifold bolts broken free, and I was actually looking for the last one for cylinder number 7 back here, and I don't know if you can see down there through the spark plug wires and everything else. It is missing. So on cylinder number 7, the rear bolt is totally gone. I don't know if it's broken off in there, probably is. We'll see when I get the manifold off. And then the front bolt for number 7 was loose. So probably where my exhaust leak was coming from. Not very far in here, and already found something. The reason my belt has been squeaking lately is because my tensioner is bad. It basically didn't come back out at all after I cranked it in to take the belt off. I had ordered a new pulley, because that's making a little bit of noise, but I guess I need to order a new tensioner as well. I'm sure that will not be the last thing that I find in here that I need to get. Okay, well, I just took the spark plugs out here, These are the ones I put in about 10,000 miles ago. And they don't look too bad, although I don't know if it's going to show up on video here. On the passenger side bank, it looks like there might be a little bit of rust kind of discoloration there. Could be a little bit going on there. Everything else looks pretty good. I mean, even those don't look bad. But like I said, this problem was not significant. It was just a tiny little bit of a leak between two cylinders, I think. So at this point I need to pull the pulley off of the power steering pump, remove that bracket. Then I'm ready to remove the alternator. And then after that, I think ready for valve covers and intake. Got the exhaust off. Okay, well, I think that's going to conclude the first day of work here. Didn't get quite as far as I wanted to, unfortunately, but almost everything is disconnected. I need to turn the engine over to top dead center compression stroke for cylinder 1. And then at that point, I'm ready to pull the distributor, and then the intake can come off. And then the heads are pretty much ready to come off. I still need to unbolt the valve cover on this side as well, but I think that is about it. I also need to pull the power steering pump, because while I'm in here, I'm going to take that off and do the Evo delete kit as well, because I'm right here. But I will worry about that tomorrow. So I have a feeling this is going to be a 3-day project. Also, I did not initially order valve springs, but after talking to several people on one of the forums, they convinced me that it would be a mistake not to. So I just put it in another Amazon order for valve springs from Comp Cams, a new belt tensioner, because that was bad and I didn't have one ready to go, and a new set of bolts for the exhaust manifolds, because that one in the back on number 7 is broken and the rest of them are pretty crusty. So again, all problems for the me of tomorrow. Okay, next morning, time to get back to work. Onward. Okay, just got it rotated over to top dead center compression on number 1 here. You can tell because the lifters are both loose, valves are both up, and the timing mark is lined up down there. So now I can pull the distributor, and then the intake should be ready to come off after that. Okay, I think we are ready for this intake to come off of here. Yep, there it goes. Well, what do we got here? Yeah, a little dirtier. The valley doesn't look quite as nice as the top of the heads did, but still not bad. A little cleaning. Definitely got some carbon going on here, and some crud in the coolant passageways. Can you see that back there? So now to pop these heads off. Here's my dirty intake removed as a complete unit. So gonna work on cleaning that up a little bit here. Obviously watch out for the electrical connections that are still on here, sensors. Oh, and real quick, if you were paying attention, I was getting ahead of myself. Before I can take the heads off, I have to pull all of the rocker arms and push rods. And then the heads can come off. Okay, this side's all disconnected, but it does not want to come off of there, so there we go. Okay. Okay, so now I just need to do the passenger side. Probably need this again. There we go. So I think the cylinder walls all look pretty good down there. Pistons definitely have some carbon buildup. I think 6 is where my problem was, because look at the exhaust valve on 6 versus the rest of them. Also, 1 looks like it's getting some oil in there or something, although the plug didn't look like it. So, making progress, taking a little longer than I thought, of course. Okay, well, I wasn't going to, but seeing that the cylinder number 6 shows signs of some stuff going on, I'm going to rotate the engine around just so I can inspect the cylinder wall there. So, to get it back at top dead center, I'll just need to bring it around until the piston comes up again one time, and then again a second time, because the next time 6 will be on top dead center compression, and it's on top dead center exhaust right now, so I need it to be on top dead center exhaust when I'm finished, which will make top dead center compression back on number 1. Okay, I think we're good. So 6 looks good, 1 looks good. So good on the cylinder walls there. So now I just need to spin that back around. Okay, well, I think I found the problem right here. Probably can't even see it. Just the tiniest little split in the head gasket right there, I think was where the problem was. So now it's time to start cleaning these up. Okay, got the pistons mostly decarboned. Passenger side, they all cleaned up pretty well. I got a little bit more on a couple of them that I might go back and get here, but that's most of it. So I just need to finish prepping the deck surface, and then I think we're good over here. And I started cleaning the heads, but I got a long way to go still. Well, here is the passenger side head, fully disassembled. Everything looks pretty good there. There's definitely more carbon buildup though. So I have to clean those runners out really good. I'm going to grind that anyway, so just a little bit. And then the valves here, same story. Not too bad, but definitely some carbon. Here's 6, the one that's the problem. Here's the intake valve. So a couple of the others, or most of the others, look kind of like that too. Definitely got some good carbon on there. So I think this is going to be my stopping point. This is the end of second, basically full day working on this. I'm just going to work on this head. I'm going to clean it, do my porting and everything else I'm going to do, and reassemble it before I disassemble the driver's side head. That way there's less confusion with parts and everything else. And also all of the keepers and retainers and springs are numbered, labeled, even though I'm going to install new springs. So just need to clean up here, and that's going to wrap it up for day 2. Well, bad news. Can you see that? That is a crack in the, starting about here, and then it goes all the way, it goes even into the exhaust runner here, which you're not going to be able to see. So this is a boat anchor now, and rather than trying to get a used one or mess with any of that, I'm either going to get a complete set, both sides, of a rebuilt set of heads, or ideally a brand new set. I think I found some. It's only a couple bucks more for a completely brand new set over another rebuilt set. But in any event, this isn't going to work, and that's where the problem was. So that really sucks, but much better that I found out now versus melting a piston, having the entire engine go bad, needing to be replaced like 1,000 miles away. So I guess I will check back here once I have sourced some new heads. Okay, well, I think that's a good place to wrap part 1 of this rebuild here. Make sure you check back next week for part 2 to find out what I do about dealing with the cracked cylinder head here, and to find out whether or not I get the Suburban running again. So make sure you click the thumbs up and like this video if you did. Leave me a comment down below if you've got something to add, and I will see you next week for part 2.